Hey, this is Corey from Woodcraft, and this Tuesday I'm going to be doing a tag video. Now Chris from Prepared Mind 101 started this tag video. I know Rob from the Angry Jackalope, he's done a follow-up on it as well. And so I'm going to leave links to both of them in the description box. Now this tag is simple. It's basically you have to go through all your belt knives, and if you could only have 3, what 3 would you rely on the most? And one of them has to be a budget knife, which means it has to be less than $100. And so I have to go through all my knives, basically my fixed blade knives, and then I have to eliminate each one until I'm down to my 3 favorite. And so getting started, I'll just show you guys what I have. I have the Jessica X, the Charade SCHF 43, also known as Jessica X. This is the original one. This is the saber grind one, not the hollow grind one. So this is a tank of a knife. I also have the Mora Bushcraft Black, which is another really good knife. I have a Mora Companion, which you guys seen both of those. I have a Becker BK2, which is a very thick, robust knife. I have a Mora Bushcraft C. I have a Charade SCHF 10 with the recurve. And so you can tell already that I have a large variety of different styles of blades. I have a Pathfinder Knife Shop Dave Canterbury Signature Edition Scorpion. I have a Larry Roberts Signature Edition Genesis from LT Wright. I have a Tops Bob, the Fieldcraft knife. And then I have my Becker BK9. And so I'm sure some of you know some of my picks already, but I'm going to go through and I'm just going to eliminate them one by one, and I'll tell you why I'm eliminating each one until I'm down to my 3 favorites. So my first one that I'm eliminating is the Jess X. Just because they don't make them like this anymore, you can't buy them like this anymore. Also, the handle isn't as comfortable as I would like it to be. Plus it's a lot bigger than my other knives. You have a big blade with a big handle, and carrying this on your belt isn't the best, you know, because when you kneel down it digs in the dirt sometimes. That's why they included this baldric style carry option. But that's the first one I'm eliminating. Second one I'm going to eliminate is going to be my Mora Bushcraft C. The reason I'm eliminating this one is because I learned that it's too small. I don't like that short little blade. I like to have something that can do a lot more tasks than, because this is a great little whittling knife, but when I have to process firewood and there's a lot of other tasks that need to get done, this one just doesn't quite cut it. So I'm going to eliminate that one as well. Oh, this is hard. The next one I'm going to eliminate, I guess, would have to be the Scorpion, the Dave Canterbury Signature Edition. The reason I'm eliminating this one is because I haven't used it. I really like Dave Canterbury. I like his teachings. I like his ideas and concepts. There was only 100 of these made, these Signature Edition knives, and so I don't use it. I keep it nice, and it's more of a wall hanger to me than it is an actual heavy use knife. And so I'm going to eliminate this one just because I don't use it. Next, it's getting harder. Next, I'm going to eliminate the Charade SCHF10. This is a really good knife. It's very ergonomic. It's very comfortable. I do that all the time though. I always think that there's a finger choil up here because of the recurve, but that's blade. And it's very comfortable just in standard. It doesn't really need a choil, but I don't like recurves, especially when I'm out, like camping, because they're not the easiest to sharpen. They're not the easiest to maintain. They do have their purpose and they do have a lot of great uses. This is a very thick, robust knife. It's a very good knife. It's not for me, right? There's just something about it that I don't like using this knife. So I'm gonna eliminate that one. Oh, what next? Well, now that we got all these knives are ones that I've kind of used, but I haven't really heavy used them. Now I'm into my heavy use knives, the ones that I've used a lot. So let's go over budget options. So the budget knife has to be under $100, which is almost all of these. The Becker BK9 I think is right at $100, so I'm not going to include that. The Tops Bob is like 120, so that's out. And the LT Wright is like 200 and some, so that's definitely out. So that leaves the Becker BK2, the Mora Bushcraft Black, and the Mora Companion. And so if I had to choose one of these, I would have to, this is hard. So Chris, he was talking about how it's like picking your favorite child, and I laughed. I thought it was ridiculous, but now that I'm doing it, it's hard. Because this BK2, this was my first camp knife. This is what got me started. This is what got the passion and the drive. It's a 1/4 inch thick tank. It's just huge, and I've batoned with it. I've done so much with this knife. Not only is it a really good knife, but I have a lot of history with it. There's a lot of sentimental value to this knife, but it's very big and heavy and bulky, and it doesn't do fine tasks very well. But like I said, it's got so much I gotta pick it. I have to pick it just because it's done so much for me and it's gotten me to where I am today, and so I have to pick the BK2. Even though the Mora Companion and the Mora Bushcraft Black, they're a lot lighter, they're a lot easier to belt carry, they're a lot easier at carving and whittling and everything. Because of the history of this knife and how it's performed for me and how it's gotten me here, I have to choose the BK2. So the Moras are out because the other ones are they're better steels, they're full tang, they're just a lot better knives in my opinion. So that leaves three. That leaves the Becker BK9, the Tops Bob, and the LT Wright Genesis. And now you guys all know I'm going to pick the LT Wright Genesis. I might as well just pick it right now because I love this knife. The ergonomics, the way this handle fills my hand is perfect. It feels like it was made for my hand. The 90-degree spine is razor sharp. The edge of this knife, it's razor sharp. It's super easy to sharpen. I like how the point is in line with the handle for digging out holes and drilling with it a little bit, and there's a lot you can do. I love the horse Kefart design. I love this knife. Like, this is my perfect knife. All these other knives that I have purchased to kind of get a feel for what they are has led me to this knife. I love this knife. This is actually the last knife I bought, and I haven't bought another one because I always use this one, you know. There's a lot of other knives that I would really like to try, and a lot of other knives that I would really love to own, but they're expensive. They're very expensive to just buy knives, and there's other pieces of gear that I need or want that I'll actually use, where I don't want to just buy another $200 knife and still go back to this one. You know what I mean? So this is number 2. So I have the Becker BK2, the LT Wright Genesis Larry Roberts Signature Edition, and that leaves the Tops Bob Fieldcraft knife, which is another really good knife. It's very ergonomic. It's got a nice Scandi Vex, so it's got a very strong edge. The things I don't like about it is I don't like the Shango notch. The jimping I'm not really a big fan of, but I don't really use it anyway. This is a really good knife. It comes with a really nice sheath. Yeah, I really like this knife. And my Becker BK9, which again has a lot of history. It doesn't come with, it comes with a junk sheath. You have to resheath it with Kydex. The handles are really smooth, so I upgraded the handles to my Carta. And so when it comes to the two, I'm gonna have to pick the Becker BK9 just because it's a large blade. This is my survival knife. If I was going into the woods for an unknown amount of time and I could only pick one knife, one rig, this would be what I grabbed. I would grab this even over my LT Wright, even though you all know how much I love this thing. If I was going into some unfamiliar woods, this is what I would bring. This whole rig. It has the ferro rod, it has the Altoids tin with a bunch of items in it that can help me sustain myself. It's a great chopper. You can baton large pieces of wood with it. It's very ergonomic. It's very comfortable. It's tried and true. This knife has been tested. The Becker BK9, if you look on YouTube videos, people have beat the snot out of this knife, and it just keeps going and keeps asking for more. This is a very, very heavy use, heavy endurance knife, and so that's my last pick. And so when it comes to my 3 picks, my budget item is the Becker BK2. I also have the Becker BK9, and of course my LT Wright Larry Roberts Genesis. Again, you all know I was going to pick this one. This one is always on my hip. Anytime I'm in the woods or I'm camping or I'm doing anything, this knife is on my hip. So with that being said, Chris and the Angry Jackalope, so Prepared Man 101 and the Angry Jackalope, they didn't tag anyone, they just kind of left it open. And I'm going to do the same thing. If you guys are interested in showing off your blades that you carry on your hip and narrowing it down to only 3, it's not as easy as it looks. You know, I was watching Chris from Prepared Mind 101, and he has like a billion knives, and so for him to narrow it down, I was like, yeah, that's probably tricky. Same with the Angry Jackalope. He has so many knives, and so for him to narrow it down, where I only have a few, so I was like, breeze, I got this. It's not a breeze. It's not as easy as it looks. But make sure to leave any knowledge or questions in that comment section. I want to know, out of my knives or your knives, what one do you think rules them all? What one knife would you take with you no matter where you were going, whether it be leaving the country or in some kind of foreign woods, or what one knife rig would you bring with you? Then make sure to like and share this video to help spread that knowledge and those ideas to the people we care about most. And as always, don't forget to subscribe and come join the pack. I got a new video every Sunday and Thursday, and I'm starting a new series every Tuesday where I do 2-minute TikTok Taco Tuesdays where I can do anything. I'm going to have to add tags to that. So it's going to be a 2-minute TikTok Taco Tag Tuesday video. And I can't wait to see you guys on the next one. Thanks.